This week's episode of Stay on Topic is brought to you by General Electric. General Electric. You have no idea what we do anymore, do you? That's probably for the best.
You're listening to episode 21.5 of Stay on Topic. If you want to introduce a topic and you still use the email, stayontopic111@gmail. You can hit me up on Twitter at Giltastrophe, or James
At PostJM9.
or Bob.
At Bob Ricotta.
With that said, bringing the fire and the fury, Bob Ricotta.
How you doing today, Chris?
Spunky. And the man behind the mask, James Post.
I'm here.
The opposite of spunky.
Yes.
And I'm Chris Gill, who is devising a way to get proper revenge on James Post for picking this goddamn topic this week.
Yeah.
He's exposing
Keep
us all.
working.
This, if you're not familiar with what this week's topic is, it's the top 5 guilty pleasure songs, and not Africa by Toto or anything by Juice Newton.
Bonnie Tyler.
We're talking deep dive shit you are completely embarrassed to tell
Like
friends and
stuff
family that you listen to.
Stuff you only tell your therapist.
Yeah, the specification was something that you've never told your friends you like.
Yeah, so the listeners are going to learn way more than they ever wanted to about the three of us. Thank you, James. Before we get into that, just some news and notes. Disney is pulling all their content from Netflix after 2018 to start their own streaming service in conjunction with ESPN.
So no Marvel.
No Marvel, no Disney princesses, no Star Wars.
Because we need to reach the point where the number of streaming service subscriptions we have reaches the point where we're paying more than we were paying for cable.
Exactly.
So how does that affect the Marvel Knights? Are they going to move to the new streaming service?
See, this is what is my biggest nerd concern is, okay, what are you doing with Daredevil, Luke Cage, Punisher now that they're established on Netflix?
Right.
How did that contract read?
Yeah, and that's what I don't know if Netflix was involved directly in production, if they were paying for production. Like, I don't know what that arrangement was.
No.
If only there was a way to look that up.
Too much work. Okay. Also in Netflix news, this is actually great news for Netflix. They bought up all of Mark Millar's catalog of IP, not of the stuff that he hasn't already published. For those unfamiliar with Mark Millar, he is the brains behind Kick-Ass, The Kingsman, and he also wrote the iconic Civil War storyline for Marvel Comics, as well as the Ultimates. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe is lifted from the sky heavily.
One big miss, but
Which?
The Ultimates.
I kind of like the Ultimates. I'm not going to lie. Ultimates was pretty great. But this is...
that should have been on your list.
Netflix is going to develop some of his works into films. They're going to have some more original series, which they've become world-renowned for, and even kids' content out of the Mark Millar verse.
Yeah.
So this is really cool news. I'm excited to see what they can do with it.
Netflix has reached a pace with its original content where I'll just go on and see something that I'm interested in that I had no idea existed until it just popped up.
Yeah, and what they did with Castlevania was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that Castlevania series is pretty great.
It's just so looking... I haven't seen a date yet, even, for when second season's going to be out, but...
No, but credit Warren Ellis for that. I mean, the direction he took a pretty dumb storyline in is incredible. It's great.
It's a pretty dumb storyline. He decided to base it on Castlevania 3 for the NES. So to turn that into something that was that watchable.
Yeah, that's great achievement. So that's the kind of thing that Netflix is capable of doing when they take an IP like that. So that's encouraging. On to actual news, a lot of saber rattling going on between America and North Korea, mainly from one person.
It looks like that bunker list we did a few episodes ago.
I thought about that. Yes.
We may actually have use for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing yesterday. I was like, Shit, we should do another bunker list like now.
Yeah.
So people know what to take with them into the bunkers.
And we're recording this on Wednesday. You may already be in your bunkers by the time we post
Yeah.
this. But
Always possible.
and the interesting thing, did you hear John McCain's comments about what Donald Trump tweeted?
No.
He says something like, if you say things like this, you've got to be serious, and I don't think the president is.
Well, and it seems like Trump, just to back up a step. Obviously, there's been some provocations from North Korea recently, with the ICBM tests, which they're now saying could theoretically reach the mainland United States, like major cities, and also a conclusion from U.S. nuclear authorities that they think North Korea has the ability to miniaturize a warhead to the point where it could be mounted on an ICBM. So that's sort of the background. And Trump's response was actually not in a tweet, but at an event.
Yeah, right.
He was speaking
To the Boy Scouts?
No, he was already on. This was when he was already on vacation. He was at the golf resort in Bedminster, New Jersey, which I always think is a strange name for a town.
It is. That in Glen Burnie. And
Maryland?
Yeah. Just a weird damn name for a town.
Yeah. But so his quote was, "North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen."
On Twitter, he did take credit for building our nuclear arsenal to previously unforeseen highs.
Yeah,
Which takes goddamn years to accomplish.
Yeah.
"My first order as president was to renovate and modernize our nuclear arsenal. It is now far stronger and more powerful than ever before," which is essentially impossible. He ordered an NPR, a nuclear policy or nuclear posture review, when he took office, which every new president does. That process, the review, isn't even done. There's not been a report written, and anything that would cost money has to be approved by Congress. So any major changes to our nuclear arsenal are years out, at least.
I think we still have some sitting around we could use.
We've got something like 1,750 ICBMs ready to go. I'm not sure if that counts submarine mounted. Plus,
it'll do in a pinch.
Plus tactical nuclear weapons, but those are mostly based in Europe, actually. So
Trump does get some credit for coining the most metal album name of 1988, "The Fire and the Fury."
Yeah.
Pantera, where were you on that one?
Well, if it was 80s, it wouldn't have been Pantera. It'd be more like Metallica.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah, anywho. James, our boy Paul Manafort, back in the news.
Yeah. This was just revealed in this morning's Washington Post. But it actually took place July 26th. FBI agents raided Manafort's Alexandria, Virginia home under a warrant from Robert Mueller, special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, to seize certain documents related to the campaign from his home.
Why would you keep those?
Yeah.
It's unclear.
Why would you burn them? Jesus Christ.
But no, that's the only thing out of the Manafort camp has been a statement from a spokesperson saying that they're cooperating with the FBI. So,
and also the New York Times had to make a bit of a correction.
A bit. So a draft climate report that was, quote, revealed by the New York Times in a Tuesday story, which the Times suggested in the story was being suppressed by the White House. Perhaps a little less secret than they thought. They issued a correction today on A17, by the way, which is such bad. The Times disappoints me so much sometimes. That's such bad practice. You can't have an out front story where you screw up and then bury the correction. That's just fucking bad journalism.
Yeah.
but had to issue a correction saying that the report has actually been available online since January. The White House obviously hasn't done a lot to publicize it. This is a draft report that's in the public comment period. It'll be approved or not sometime later this month, I believe, is the deadline. At which point, if it's approved, it would be actually published. But the draft has been available since January. And that's what was, quote, leaked to the New York Times.
Yeah. Okay. Any other news or notes?
I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
A couple things to look forward to coming up in this week and weeks following. The Defenders is going to be on Netflix in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see what they do with that. And the DVD release of Guardians 2 will be out. The digital version is out there now. You can go home and stream it if you had Wi-Fi, which I don't. Still.
God, how long is that going to take?
17 goddamn days without Wi-Fi right now.
Thanks,
Do
Empire.
you have a date?
Yes. Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you've got all the requisite equipment and stuff,
Yes.
so you'll be able to use it when it's hooked up.
Unlike the actual dates in which Chris does not have the requisite equipment.
I saw that one coming. The ball was on the tee for that one.
Unfortunately, no, it's not. Anywho,
let's get into James's sadistic goddamn topic. We're doing a roundtable top 5 guilty pleasure songs, and as we said at the top of the show, these are deep dives. These are the ones you don't tell anyone. So I'm assuming all of us, for the first time, will admit to each other and all, however, our dozens of listeners.
Yes.
dozens, plural.
But we did have some brave souls out there on the social medias
That's true.
that did not mind chiming in. Let's see. Starting from the top, we got our buddy Eric Hoffman. Just says, I'm not too proud. Toy Soldiers by Martika.
Nice.
That's a brave admission.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a brave admission.
Although it was sampled by Eminem, it's still a brave admission.
Really? That was sampled?
Yep.
Okay. Stacy Q.
Wow.
I Need You?
Anything.
Yeah, right?
I can.
just-
And I was looking at that earlier. I don't believe that's the name of the phrase "I need you" is used
It's
repeatedly.
Two of Hearts.
But the song
Two of-
is Two of Hearts.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. And, of course, Lord Buffington, one of our best chimer inners. Boy, some of these I've never even heard of. Michael Martin Murphy's Never Giving Up on Love. Never
No.
Don Omar and Lucenzo's Danza Kuduro, or Kuduro. Lord Buffington, where do you come up with this shit? Celine Dion, written by Jim Stein and Meatloaf. It's all coming back to me now.
All right.
Yeah, and
that's
he's admitting liking the Celine Dion version and not the Meatloaf version. So that's
okay.
That's brave.
yeah.
and Snow's Informer.
Sure.
And
I'm unfamiliar.
From the infamous album 12 Inches of Snow.
That's a real thing?
It
Yeah.
is a real thing.
and
It's a catch. I heard it on the radio the other day, and
I don't dislike that song.
it's a catchy rap.
It's annoying.
Was he affect a Jamaican accent?
Yes, and
Kinda
Snow. He's white. I believe he's
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah.
And he does
Okay.
a dance hall kind of thing.
So,
I mean,
a Canadian Macklemore dance hall guy person?
It's more like a Canadian, like
Vanilla Ice,
John Paul or Shaggy.
Shaggy. There you
That
go.
style.
Okay.
It's a catchy ditty, but you don't want to own the whole album. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Benjamin T. Johnson. He had some
also known
offerings.
as the reason I stopped getting beaten up in high school.
Oh, I thought. Okay, that's not where I thought you were going with that. Eddie Murphy's "Party All the Time."
That's a pretty bad.
That's
song.
fucking brave.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe anybody enjoys it, let alone it. would admit to enjoying it. It's a bad song.
In this day and age, it's really hard to tell whether you enjoy something ironically or if you truly enjoy it. And I can't even enjoy that song ironically.
No.
It's just a bad song.
Yeah, that's
And
an
that
odd one.
and that's one thing, and we'll get to our own lists obviously, but
For sure.
that's
So we
something I
can
had to,
humiliate ourselves on the internet. Thank you, James.
that's hey, our listeners already went out there.
Yeah,
and
they put their
they already had the courage to go out there before us. So I think we owe them nothing less.
We should really screw with them and not put out ours out.
Yeah. But no, that's something I had to think
Thanks
about.
a lot, suckers.
I had to think about seriously to make sure I'm not. I don't have anything on my list that I enjoy ironically.
No, same.
They're all
Same.
things I genuinely like.
Yep, same. And I'm ashamed to admit each and every one of them. Benjamin Johnson is also ashamed to admit that he likes Dan Fogelberg's leader of the band.
Wow.
That one cracks me up. Emmylou Harris and Willie Nelson's Gulf Coast Highway.
Don't know it.
Me neither. The Addicts, 4321. Never heard?
Also not familiar.
Nope. And he put Oingo Boingo's Dead Man's Party. There is no shame in liking Dead Man's Party.
No, if he had put Oingo Boingo's I Like Little Girls, that would be sketchy.
Yeah. And I certainly wouldn't post that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe that's code. Maybe that's what he meant.
And somebody who Bob knows a little bit, and Ricotta, Little River Band's Cool Change, which I'm not familiar with.
I've heard it.
It's a good song. It's an easy listening song. It's not a bad song,
Okay. Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling.
which is a bad song.
I would, oh, God, yeah. Bless you, Anne, for admitting that. Cool and the Gangs,
Hey, she
Misled.
admits she's married to me, so this is really nothing for
Yeah,
her.
she puts it on Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
Good for you, Anne. She is fearless. Rick Springfield's Jesse's Girl.
I like it.
That's on the fence.
Yeah.
That's on the fence. And REO Speedwagon's Can't Fight This Feeling. To me, you shouldn't feel shame.
It's just too mainstream.
But it's bad. It's bad. I mean,
it's overplayed.
No, it was bad when it was.
Okay.
I don't like that song. It's REO Speedwagon going soft.
When were they not soft?
Okay.
When was their hardcore phase? Because I want that album.
Oh, dude, their second album wasn't too overproduced. And finally, from the Twitters, Charlotte Smith's offered Miss Me Blind by Culture Club.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Simon Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. No shame.
No,
Simon and Garfunkel are great.
that's a classic.
Yeah.
If separate, they suck. But together,
Paul Simon
they
does
were
not
great.
suck.
They were
Shut your
great.
pretty mouth.
What? Wait. Okay, I missed something. What did you say?
He said separately they suck. Garfunkel sucks.
Art Garfunkel was a weight holding down the great talent of Paul Simon.
We're going to get a Paul Simon diatribe now.
that,
Go.
that blossomed into an amazing career after Paul Simon went solo.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Yeah,
Kodachrome. Call me Al. 50 ways to leave.
the entire album of Graceland.
Yeah.
See, and here's my problem with Just Broke Up with Garfunkel, Paul Simon. I always think that Garfunkel's in those songs, like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
all Paul Simon solo.
See, that I like, but yeah.
Diamonds on the soles of her shoes.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay.
And just agree to disagree.
Yeah. So, no shame, Charlotte. Now on to our list.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You can't come up with anything else.
I fucking hate James for this.
Yeah, can we fill time in anyway? Oh, by the way, if you guys hear sirens while this is going on, it is probably the bombs falling, and you should take shelter, or you're already dead.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little late by then.
Yeah, we're going to try to get
Although
this
we're
posted.
on the East Coast, so they can't reach us. All our West Coast listeners. are
Some
fucked.
estimates we're talking potentially hitting DC.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Bob?
All right.
Lead us into the depths of hell that James has brought us to, that goddamn sadist.
I had a lot of trouble with this because, I'm 51 years old and I'm beyond the age of giving a fuck.
Yeah.
So if I like something, I'm going to like it. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to, make a secret of it. So I had a hard time with this list. And these are in no particular order. So one of my top 5 is Free for All by Ted Nugent, which I know you're saying, hey, that's a great song.
Yeah. Or are you just saying because it's Ted Nugent?
Because it's Ted Nugent. And I hate everything that Ted Nugent stands for. And I probably lost some liberal points for even mentioning Ted Nugent's name. It's one of those things where I love the song. I hate the artist.
Where did it come down on Damn Yankees?
The Jack Blades kind of dilutes the Ted Nugent.
See, I was wondering if
and Tommy Shaw,
the Night Ranger Styx connection,
right?
Yeah, okay.
But
gotcha.
pure Ted, unadulterated Ted Nugent. He played here recently with Styx and REO Speedwagon, and I refused to go for the Ted Nugent portion. I waited until after Ted Nugent was over, just because I didn't want to show any type of support whatsoever. The man is an asshole, but I love his music. And Free for All is probably the best that he's got.
He's a goddamn idiot, but my Lord, can that man play guitar. Yeah. I love listening to him play guitar.
Yes. So this is probably not what you had in mind when you came up with the topic, but this is kind of my take on embarrassing. It's like, I won't admit to my liberal friends that I like Ted Nugent, but I like Ted Nugent. And Free for All is probably my favorite song.
I think we're all a little stronger for you having done that.
My name is Bob Ricotta, and I like Ted Nugent.
Hi, Bob.
So,
James the Sadist Post, who came up with this stupid damn topic. Go.
Couple of things. Just wanted to point out that because I know we're going to be listing things that people may not be familiar with. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the previous music list. Put together a Spotify playlist. We'll put it in the description.
I am not highlighting the shit on my list.
Oh, come on.
That way, if you're not familiar, you'll be able to hear it.
Listeners, you're going to have to do the work on my list. There is no way.
We'll do it.
We'll put it together.
Okay.
I'll have an audio record of what you said. So, but no, it's this is a topic where I would love to be able to just play little clips of the music as we talk about it. But
well, I'm glad you didn't interrupt the flow of the list to get this information out there.
Yeah,
couldn't have done this at the end of the show.
Shut
up. YouTube is obviously unfriendly to that kind of thing. And I'll echo what Bob said, which is this was really hard for me because I like musical theater. I like music from almost every genre. There's not much that I don't tell people that I like. So if something is on this list, it's something genuinely embarrassing to me. So that said, my first one on my list, and mine's sort of in increasing order of embarrassment.
Yeah, mine's a ladder.
Yeah. And it'll tell you something that this is the first one. I Love You Always Forever by Donna Lewis.
Oh my God.
I'm not familiar with that.
From her 1996 album, Now in a Minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might
one
know
of the great earworms of the late 90s.
You might know it from its appearance on Beverly Hills 90210.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, just probably on the radio in friends' cars.
So defend your shame, James.
It's a song that it's
hashtag
as a musician,
shame.
I recognize that it's like 2 chords. It's so repetitive, but the way the sound is engineered, it just sort of envelops you with this warmth of sound. And almost the droning of the lyrics. It's just, I don't know. It's like she bathing in chocolate sauce listening to it.
She coos.
Yes.
She coos
And
like
she's a British performer.
I would not have picked that up.
And you get a little bit of that in her diction. That I think makes it sound a little crisper or more interesting to me. And I also remember the video where she looked so goddamn hot. And she was like, I think she was in her early 40s. And she's wearing like a midriff shirt and tight pants and just kind of writhing around on the floor in a half a room. I don't quite remember. It's a weird video. But I remember being highly, highly turned on by the video as well.
Do you need us to pause and take a minute?
No, I'm good.
I think a minute's being generous, but all right, Chris, what do you got?
All right. I'm going to preface this with a small tale. When The Crow was released...
Oh, I'm breaking the flow.
Yeah. When The Crow was released, it had a badass soundtrack.
Sure.
And one of the songs on there was After the Flesh by My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult.
Yeah, I know the band.
I was like, holy shit, this is great. It's like the best parts of Nine Inch Nails and the best parts of Ministry and the best parts of KMFDM all in one song. Holy hell, I need to hear more of this. Went out and bought the 13 Above the Night album from My Life with a Kill Thrill Cult. And it was nothing like the song that was on the Crow soundtrack. Like, it was dance club techno, sorta industrial with sampling out the ass.
But you're approaching a point.
And through it all, I discovered Delicate Terror from their 1993 album. It is this really slick, overproduced... it's the kind of thing that they would probably play in a gay dance club. And it's hooky as fuck.
Is there something wrong with that?
For a 44-year-old middle-aged hetero, yeah, that's why you don't go around admitting it. But yeah, that's Delicate Terror. This
is where
something.
a clip would be really useful.
Exactly.
I'm sure we're...
Hum a few bars.
There's too much sampling. You can't replicate it with the human voice. But yeah, that's my first one. I thought I'd get the obscure one out of the way.
Okay, good. So the rest will be more mainstream?
Much more, yes.
Excellent.
What do you got, Bob?
Well, number 4 is Faith.
George Michael?
No. Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You can feel the cringes coming through your speakers.
Just so much judging right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I deserve every iota of it. Limp Bizkit is horrible. I believe that Rolling Stone labeled them mook rock, which is perfect for them.
Yeah.
They are everything you hate about frat guys embodied in music. But there's just something about taking a song by an openly gay guy and having a bunch of guys who would probably beat that guy up do it that makes it subversive. And they do they kind of do the mock sincere, and then they go into the screaming of the chorus, and it's just kind of catchy. And it feels a little dirty and subversive, and it appeals to me.
You homophobic?
Homophobic, but like that moment when Eminem...
Like subtly musically homophobic.
Kind of, but like that moment when Eminem embraced Elton John at the Grammys.
Okay.
Like homophobic, but erotic.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we're going...
I'll let you have that one.
We're going deep into the psyches here, and I'm more than half drunk. So, Faith by Limp Bizkit.
All right. Did not see that. We didn't see any of these coming. What do you got, James?
This is actually fairly similar to my last pick. So my second one is As I Lay Me Down by Sophie B. Hawkins.
I know the name, I don't know the song. She does the Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I also like, but I don't think is really a guilty pleasure.
No.
No, it's a pretty good song.
No, this is the As I Lay Me Down to Sleep, This I Pray, that you will hold me dear, though I'm far away.
Okay, yes. And there's a da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, that ooh la la ah.
Yeah.
That bit.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, Explain your.
It's the same kind of thing. Just, a sonic landscape that's just emotionally comforting to me, if I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not sure what else to say. I like Sophie B. Hawkins. I like her voice.
She's got a nifty name.
Yeah.
All right. My next one is 1970s Knock 3 Times by Tony Orlando.
Wow.
It automatically takes me back to when I was just a little shit and variety shows were a big thing.
Yeah.
That was the song that always stuck out. And if I catch it somewhere, like on a radio or, in a store or something, I genuinely just sit there and enjoy the shit out of it.
I don't know that I could repeat every word now, but if it was playing on the radio, I could probably sing along every word.
Yeah. The cadence is slow enough so you could kind of keep up if you want.
Hey girl, what you doing down there? Yeah.
Yeah. That one is pretty much pure nostalgia. Like, for the first time that you remember a song, that might be the first song I remember, and maybe that's the connection.
And it's strange that it's Knock 3 Times and not Tie Yellow Ribbon.
Nope. No, it's Knock 3 Times. Maybe because I was perverted as a young child, too. Like, Knock 3 Times is a little dirty, man. He's hitting on his neighbor and shit.
Yeah.
That, to me, I don't know. But, yep, that's my number 2. What do you got, Bob, for number 3?
Number 3, I've got It's Raining Men.
No. See, I'm not sure I accept that.
Because it's a genuinely good song?
I believe it's a genuinely good song.
Okay.
I understand.
It fits well into it's a sort of a niche genre, but as for what it is, it's as well crafted as anything else.
And that's why I really had problems with this list, is because I can't tell what's genuinely good and what is good because it evokes emotion. But I like this song because every time they played
Don't bang on the table.
I'm sorry. Every time they played it at Lando's in 1986, 87, 88.
Good Lord, you're dating the shit out of yourself.
We would rush to the dance floor and we would shake our shit. It's just a fun song. It is, back in the day when I used to do Flock of Seagulls hairstyles, and I used to wear eyeliner out to the club, and this harkens me back to those times when, sexuality was a little ambiguous.
And I'll just throw in for both Bob and for our listeners that if you're interested in It's Raining Men and would like to find out more about that group and where they came from and what happened to them, there's a really great episode of a web series on YouTube called One Hit Wonderland.
I've heard of this.
By a guy named, his name's Todd Nathanson, but he goes by Todd in the Shadows. And he did an episode on this song. And it's actually really interesting. And, some of these people who went on to, some of the large black women who are singers went on to do like voiceover for like early 90s, like jock jam kind of R&B.
Well, I know specifically the instance you're thinking of.
Yeah. And then they put a hot chick in the video and it's like, no, that's not who's singing that.
Yeah.
It's a 300-pound black woman with a voice like a 300-pound black woman, which is what you wanted for the song. So why not put her in the goddamn fucking video?
I'm so glad those scumbags got outed for doing that. Yeah. Like over the years, the real vocalist.
Was that CNC Music Factory?
Yeah. I'm so glad they got outed. It was just, I think VH1 actually outed them.
Oh, right? Yeah?
I seem to, that's the first time I remember hearing about it. And yeah, that was, fuck those assholes.
No, I think, is it James?
Yeah.
I just did the Weather Girls.
So. Okay.
Yeah.
So James.
I promise this is my last breathy female vocalist.
Nothing wrong with female vocalists. They're pretty great.
Thank You by Dido from 1999.
Remind me.
And
I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life.
It was sampled in Stan by Eminem.
Hmm.
And I will argue that's a legitimately good song.
I know it was very popular at the time.
But it's nothing you go out and admit.
Yeah,
or nothing
no.
when you go to a bar and go to the jukebox. You're not going to be playing that shit.
Not,
And that's the one that sticks out at me. But at the time it came out, I had the album, and I actually liked several songs on that album.
I had 13 Above the Night as an album, so I know what you're talking about.
refresh my memory. Was that around Lilith Fair era when Sarah McLachlan, Tori Amos?
It's a little later as far as when that first started. Dido was much more polished than that.
Okay. Not as much girl power.
Yeah. Much more radio friendly.
Okay.
All right. My third one, I'll just preface with, I hate this goddamn band. I hate bands like them. But AFI's Miss Murder, I love that
Why do you
goddamn
hate
song.
AFI?
I don't like... I don't like a lot of the subtext that came out of the aughts.
The mopey kind of...
The angsty...
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I
my
get
God.
that.
I hate that fucking shit.
How do you feel about their precursors like The Cure and The Smiths?
Never liked The Cure.
Okay.
Never liked The Smiths.
Yeah.
And even like in this theme of in my music, I like to be uplifted. I like to feel powerful or something, which explains because I'm the size of a bean. I don't like feeling bad when I listen to music. And the Nirvanas and the AFIs and back to The Cure, they all make you feel bad.
Sure.
I don't want to feel bad when I'm listening to music.
Well, Marilyn Manson?
I like the protesty, fuck the government kind of shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Great. Cool. I'm down with that. But yeah, Miss Murder is hooky as hell.
Yeah.
Man, if I stumble across it, I'm there for the duration to hear it out.
I grabbed that disc at the library. And I was surprised at the other stuff on the disc because it didn't really match up with Miss Murder.
No, not at all. But
I think that was their breakout hit for a reason. I mean,
yeah.
Plus, it was on Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Was that a rock band or Guitar Hero? I can't remember.
I think it was Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it was like Guitar Hero 3.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's another song you just don't admit, but it's hooky as hell. It speaks to my musical likes. What do you got, Bob?
Well, this one is going to get me on an FBI watch list. It's Britney Spears, Hit Me One More Time.
I think I know why.
Oh, everyone knows why.
Yeah.
This one has to do with the video. And just hearing her, my loneliness is killing me. It's like, oh, Britney, come here. Let me make you feel better. It's just dirty.
Come here, take this pill, and I'll make you feel better.
It's
You'll feel better when you wake up.
well,
God.
exactly.
If you wake up, is that where you're going?
Leave it to James to make it rapey.
Not only rapey, but murdery. But that's what this song does. And that's what it was designed to do. I mean, she's 16 years old and dancing in a schoolgirl uniform. What the hell are you supposed to think,
I remember these conversations when that video hit, when it broke and was huge and was all over. We've had this discussion many a times over the years.
And I looked it up. I was like, maybe she was 17. No.
Well, that's... no, I'm not. No.
She was 16, which is only legal in Alabama. I Googled it.
It's illegal, but it's...
Go on.
I can't wait to see where he goes with this.
It's not classified as any kind of a mental disorder because men are actually wired to be attracted to women of that age. We've decided as a society that
It's not cool.
women of that age aren't able to give consent, which I think is a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad you
But-
followed up with that last point.
But
it's not abnormal to think a 16-year-old girl is attractive. that would have been a normal age
in the 1600s.
Yeah.
Or even 1800s.
Yeah. And really throughout human history, even younger. But we've decided as a society that that's not cool anymore for good reasons.
Again, rightfully so.
Again, there's nothing wrong with you for thinking that.
Oh.
It's wrong to act on.
So Britney Spears, welcome to number 2 with Hit Me Baby One More Time.
What's your number 2, James?
I actually left the room. My number 2, and I don't know if anyone will know this one. My number 2 is Nobody by Sylvia from 1982.
Nothing.
No.
Got nothing.
Your nobody called today. She hung up when I asked her name.
Yes, I do know that.
Actually, a country song.
Yep.
Okay.
I couldn't sing it. But
broke through to the pop charts briefly, which is where I heard it. But it's Sylvia as a country artist.
But it's not like a real heavy country. Like
no,
it's a pop country.
Yes,
like Juice Newton.
Juice Newton is not pop country. There are certain little twangs, but she's not pop country.
So what is your? Why do you like this song?
I have to justify myself.
Well, we got to fill an hour.
Honestly, I think it's mostly the fact that my cousins on my mother's side, female cousins, were at one point listening to this like on a loop, and it just kind of got stuck in my head, and it stuck with me ever since. And it's like Jolene, but without a spine.
Yeah. Okay.
See, you couldn't say Jolene because that is a legit great fucking song.
Jolene is one. It's
great.
If I had to list my top, 25, 30 songs, that'd be in there.
Yeah. It's a fantastic song.
It's an amazing song.
Have you heard Miley Cyrus's version?
Ew.
No.
That's a thing?
Yeah, and it's very good.
It's pretty fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Listeners and Chris Gill, check it out.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
She did,
as soon as I get Wi-Fi, I'm there, buddy.
She did a really good version of Landslide too.
Really?
That is also on
Stevie
YouTube.
Nicks or Fleetwood Mac song?
Yeah.
Okay. She's not a bad singer. And why didn't I put Party in the USA on this list?
You're gonna throw in an extra one for us?
Well, I've got some also rans to throw on Facebook to gin up some interest.
Okay.
Chris?
It's not an ironic thing. This is a song that I genuinely, until today, would be afraid to admit that I enjoy the shit out of. The Sign, Ace of Base.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? Because I've never been able to figure out what the hell it's even about.
Oh, I don't know. To me, it's more or less a time capsule song. Like that.
It takes you back to
was it released in 93?
Yeah.
I mean, that was right when I was going from 20 to 21. You get out to the bars for the first time, and back then, every bar played it. It's probably the hook, but it's still infinitely listenable. Like
I don't turn it when it comes on the radio.
It's extremely well produced, and it just hooks you and won't let go.
See, and that's one that just annoys the shit out of me. Like if I'm flipping through when I hear it, I'm like, I have to remember where it is in the song so I don't accidentally flip back to it
too early
before it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, and again, I know a lot of people will say, well, that's not a guilty pleasure. But
yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It totally is. And yeah, it's not one that you would, somebody in my position would just admit to his friends or, hey guys, you want to listen to this? Then have beer bottles thrown.
You didn't want to go with All That She Wants,
which is a better song.
Is it? To me, it's just
once again, I have no idea what the fuck it's about.
I always thought of that song as a ripoff of the Heart song. All I want to do is make,
which is a horrible song.
The content is just sinister. Like,
yeah,
that's borderline
evil.
evil.
And the biggest problem with that Heart song is not even the song itself, but the legacy that it tarnished.
You're correct. You go from Barracuda
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and
Alone.
yeah,
It was the
Down to-
80s. A lot of those bands sold out and did the poppy stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't fault them for wanting to sell records. I still love the Wilson sisters.
oh
They're
Yeah. But I don't know. Did the Pretenders sell out?
a little bit in the 80s. Yeah.
Where would you consider their sellout to be?
I'm not a
To
big fan.
pinpoint it, I don't know enough about the Pretenders.
I'm not a big fan of Back on the Chain Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
consider Brass in Pocket to be a sellout. Because that's what I've heard most on the radio, and to me that's sort of right dead center. That's the Pretenders, you know?
right. That was their breakout hit.
Yeah, but I don't consider it to be a sellout by any means. That's just the band.
I am not nearly familiar enough with their catalog to say, oh, right here is the point where they sold out.
You should listen to Precious.
Yeah.
It's probably I think it's their best song. Anywho,
What's your number one, Bob? What is the song you are most ashamed to talk about?
so after my last one, I feel like I need to emotionally cleanse myself, make maybe atone. I feel you remember the Game of Thrones where that woman is ringing the bell saying shame.
Of course.
That's how I feel right now. So I've got to make up for it a little bit.
Don't hit the table.
My number one is 15 by Taylor Swift. And I will freely admit it is a bad song. It was written, I mean, Taylor knows how to write a song that just plucks at the right emotional strings. And I kind of resent her for that. Well, seriously, it's like there's nothing subtle about this song. It's all
you just feel like she's the kind of songwriter who deserves to get groped by a radio DJ.
well, no. But like there's
James is on another level of fire tonight.
I'm not sure. I think it's just poor judgment and lack of inhibition in a bad way today.
there's no
Are you dehydrated or something?
There's no subtext to this song. It's all text. And as a writer, that kind of bothers me. And so my connection to this song has to do with my daughter because it reminds me of a time when my daughter was that age. So every time it comes up on my playlist, I was like, should I delete this song? And then I think of my daughter and I'm like, no, I'll keep it. So that's my connection to Taylor Swift's 15, even though it is a bad song.
I'm not even sure I know which one that is.
And I'm not going to sing it for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What are some of the lyrics?
Something... When you're 15 and some guy tells you that he loves you, you believe it and you blow him the car or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you made up that part.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I know what you mean, though.
Okay.
I kind of thought you meant the other 15 song, actually.
Which is what?
Who is that? The 15, There's Still Time for You. You've only got
that's 100 years.
Yeah.
That's Coldplay.
Yeah.
Which is
Ew.
a bad song that I don't like. This is a bad song I do like.
Ew,
I
Coldplay.
almost had a Coldplay song on my list.
Oh, I'm sorry. So what is your number one?
This one's really this is another level beyond anything else on my list. And this again, there's nothing ironic about this. Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus.
Over my head.
Yep. Explain. I mean, would we know it if we heard it?
Yes. 2000, from their self-titled first album. I'm not even sure there was a second album. I'm Just a Teenage Dirtbag Baby. It's a song about a guy trying to get a girl to go to a concert with him, but he thinks he's not good enough for her.
Yeah.
So the experience of every male at that age.
Yes.
Okay. And some at my age.
And this is where we run into a problem with this topic, because like, what do we talk about when neither of you know what I'm referencing? But I actually saw this live at a festival concert. In my defense, the headliners were Green Day and Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Stone Temple Pilots was actually the headliner. They played after Green Day. Green Day was a much better show, for the record.
Yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots was just like watching a studio session. But anyway.
You ain't seen Bad till you've seen Faith No More live.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
But no, this particular song, and hopefully some or most of our listeners will know what I'm talking about or will look it up. There's a bit at the end where the girl comes back and says that she's asking him to the concert, and she says she's just a teenage dirtbag too.
Oh, okay.
Which I really think is just kind of a sweet story. And it's done like Monty Python style, as far as it's the lead singer doing a girl voice. But apparently, at least at the time when they did it live, they would pick a girl out of the audience to sing that verse. It's much better that way. But yeah, that's my Wheatus story. Not a good band. But for some reason, I really find that song charming.
Chris?
I have to check it out. Okay. Preface. I heard this song without ever seeing the video. So the visuals attached to this song in no way influenced how it hooked me.
I think I know where we're going. Go on.
It's 2003's Toxic by Britney Spears.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
And I swear I heard the song and it's like, holy
Bob had a better
shit.
Britney Spears song.
That is. To me, Toxic has a bit more techno shit to it, which appeals to me. Like, Baby One More Time was a straight up pop song.
Yeah, but wasn't she legal by then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell
yeah.
Yeah. She was like 25.
What's even the point?
Yeah. This song, though, it's got much more edge to it than most of Britney's other songs, musically and lyrically. And for some reason, this shit, I'm going to go home right now with this shit stuck in my head because I mentioned it. Like, that's how catchy this damn song is to me. And again, you know, the video certainly doesn't hurt, but it hooked me well before I saw any visuals to go along with it.
Yeah.
When Bob went in on his Britney Spears, I was like, I better preface that so people don't think the same thing. Even though she was of legal age by quite a few years. And probably...
quite a few being like 3.
Probably... No way. This was 03. So it would have been 4 or 5 years after... I think she was legally able to drink.
Okay. She'd had 3 kids by then, but...
No, this is before. This is Britney Spears at her...
K-Fed?
Yeah, pre-K-Fed. Probably at her peak physical and... She writes her own songs. But performance-wise.
Okay.
This is the last great Britney Spears. I can't goddamn believe we just had this discussion.
Yeah.
Anybody want to throw in some honorable mentions?
Bob?
Well, I did write down Borderline by Madonna.
See, I'm not sure. I think that's just a good song.
Okay. That's why it didn't make the list.
If I were to go with Madonna, I would go with some of her early 2000s stuff. That stuff was really fucking hot.
Like a Prayer?
No, early 2000s. Like...
Vogue? I don't know what early 2000s means.
When she went all techno and
she went
British.
like super techno.
Okay,
yeah, right. Like Euro trash stuff. I mean,
right.
I really like Madonna stuff then.
Mbop. But once again, that's a well-crafted pop song.
It is, and I just hate it.
You know, if you wanted a Madonna song that was gonna embarrass you, you'd have to go with like "Justify My Love."
No, that's sexy Madonna. I am down for Justify My Love.
It's a terrible fucking song.
I don't care.
Yeah, there's no song to it.
It's the thing Bob talked about. The visuals come first, sometimes literally.
It's like Milkshake by Khalees. It's not a song.
Hey now. let's not diss Khalees. What about Crazy for You?
Nah, not a fan.
I like that song because I slow danced with a girl I really had a crush on, and it was in Vision Quest, which was an excellent movie.
Was it?
I think so.
It was about a wrestler.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I had 2 Coldplay songs that almost made my list. Viva La Vida and Fix You.
I'm not familiar enough with Coldplay.
Don't know the second one. The first one's a kind of a fun song.
Okay, Gil, you have to know Fix You. It's the one they played in the newsroom when Gabby Giffords got shot.
I don't have that kind of recollection.
Oh, come on.
I've gone through newsroom 3 times.
And you don't remember the use of music?
I'd do it a fourth if I had Wi-Fi. Not really. To me, the dialogue always sticks out more than how they use music or how they stage things. But no, really the only guilty pleasures I would have are like probably a couple Warrant tracks.
Uncle Tom's Cabin?
Uncle Tom Cabin is great.
It stands.
It's not a guilty pleasure.
No, it's
That's
not.
just a good goddamn song.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought you meant the book.
Guilty pleasure books next week on Stay on Top.
Mein Kampf.
I could probably come up with a list of guilty pleasure books, but that would be the epitome of people just listing things and no one knowing what they're talking
How
about.
many Piers Anthony would be on that list?
Several, and none from the Xanth series.
What's the series where there's 2 worlds and the...
Yeah, I like the Split Infinity series.
there
I
you
don't
go.
remember what
All right,
Split Infinity was the first book, but anyway.
we're burning through another topic here.
Yeah, but I liked Visions of Tarot.
I read one book and there was
It was horrifying.
There was a rat battle at the end that just...
Yes.
All right, folks.
Yeah. Let's not go any deeper into that.
Now I know what Ricotta feels like when you and I are talking about auto racing.
Yeah, you should read a book.
Told you, I'm getting through Doom Patrol right now.
Incarnations of Immortality?
Is that a different series?
Yeah, that's the series that's all different. Like there's one where the main character is death, and another one where the main character is like time. Like they're all...
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like the Sandman to me, but
Well,
Neil
folks,
Gaiman's Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast with this. It was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to bare your soul.
We'll see how fun it actually is if you're listening to it. It was fun for us. Are you less angry now, Gil, because you had fun?
No, I still I still have revenge on my mind.
As we sit here recording this, it's not public yet, so I guess doesn't have to be that angry yet.
If it's too late now, but it would really help if you guys drank some cough syrup or something before. Took some Benadryl.
We should have said that at the top of the show.
Yeah.
In the description.
The description of the YouTube description.
Oh, we should tell the listeners to
dope themselves up to make this more tolerable.
to scissor before they get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some robo tripping may enhance the experience.
So,
Okay.
but I think the thing that was the best part of this is once again the interaction. I love that you guys did your lists.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much for being brave and giving us your
I
lists.
maybe hoped for more, but the people who did it were clutch.
And
we
I
appreciate
understand
them all.
why people wouldn't, which
Yeah.
makes me appreciate the people who did a whole lot more, or their commitment to this was pretty big.
In the next couple of days, we'll be posting our next topic, and we'll be looking for your input once again.
Yeah.
If we're not a sizzling heap of slag by then.
Yeah.
So,
Because we're optimists.
it's like us on Facebook, share our posts, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is an interactive community, and it gets better the more people that play in our
Oh,
sandbox.
absolutely. It's only gotten more fun for us as more people have gotten involved, and I think it shows in the product. So
James,
if you want the show to get better, get involved.
what James is saying is pretty much disregard episodes 1 through 17 and a half.
I think most people do. I can see the viewer statistics. So
Good work, fellas.
All right.
Good work out there in social land.
I'm on empty, so
Okay, play us out.
signing off.